I didn't mean for any of this to happen. Please, you have to believe me.
The courtroom was little more than a cement hall with cracked walls and a rusted ceiling fan that groaned with every slow turn. Dust hung in the air, thick and unmoving, as if even the wind refused to enter a place where fairness had long since died. At the center of the room stood Elena, her hands clenched tightly in front of her, her eyes fixed on the floor. She was used to being stared at, but today the looks cut deeper, sharp with judgment, impatience, and quiet cruelty. Elena's wealthy relatives filled the wooden benches behind her. They were dressed well, their clothes clean and pressed, their voices loud with entitlement. One by one, they spoke of her as if she were not present. They called her lazy, useless, and an embarrassment to the family name. They blamed her for inconveniences she had never caused and failures that were never hers. To them, her body was proof of weakness, and weakness, they believed, deserved punishment. Elena had learned long ago that defending herself only made things worse. Orphaned at a young age, she had been passed between relatives like an unwanted responsibility. She cooked, cleaned, and stayed silent, hoping that obedience might earn her a place. It never did. Today was simply the final act of a long humiliation she had come to expect. The official presiding over the case barely listened. His eyes drifted toward the relatives who quietly slid documents and promises across the desk. The dispute itself was trivial, a disagreement over inheritance labor obligations, but the solution he proposed was cruelly creative. With a bored tone, he declared that Elena would be sent away as labor to a poor farmer named Karim, a man who lived near the edge of the valley, where the land turned rocky and unforgiving. Gasps rippled through the room, not in sympathy but in satisfaction. Her relatives nodded approvingly, relieved to be rid of her without consequence. To them, this was justice. To Elena, it felt like exile. Her heart pounded as the words settled in. A poor farmer, hard labor, isolation. She imagined endless days under the sun, hunger gnawing at her, harsh words replacing the familiar ones she already knew too well. She feared beatings, neglect, and a life reduced to survival alone. No one asked if she agreed. No one asked how she felt. As she was led out of the courtroom, the sunlight outside felt blinding. Elena swallowed hard, fighting tears she refused to let fall. In her mind, her life had ended in that dusty room. Whatever waited for her beyond the valley, she was certain of one thing: kindness was not part of her future. The journey to the valley was long and silent. Elena sat in the back of a small cart, gripping the edge as the road narrowed and the land grew quieter. She braced herself for what she believed awaited her, shouting orders, perhaps even punishment for every mistake. When the cart finally stopped, she hesitated before looking up. The house before her was simple, built of stone and wood, surrounded by fields that stretched calmly into the distance. There was no chaos, no signs of neglect. Karim stepped down first. He was taller than she expected, his face weathered by sun and time, but his eyes were steady and unreadable. He did not rush her or bark instructions. Instead, he nodded politely and said, "You must be tired, come inside." Inside, the air smelled of clean water and tea leaves. Karim poured her a cup and placed it gently in front of her as if this were the most natural thing in the world. He showed her a small but tidy room with a freshly laid bed, folded blankets, and a window that let in the soft evening light. "You can rest," he said simply. "Work can wait until tomorrow." Elena was stunned. She had prepared herself to sleep on the floor if she was allowed to sleep at all. That night, she lay awake, listening for anger that never came. The silence felt unfamiliar, almost unsettling. Over the next days, Karim assigned her only light tasks: sorting seeds, organizing tools, preparing simple meals. Whenever she grew tired, he noticed before she spoke and told her to sit. There was no impatience in his voice, no sharp glances. At the end of the week, he handed her a small pouch of money. "Your wages," he said. Elena stared at it, confused. No one had ever paid her for work before. She watched him closely, waiting for the cruelty to reveal itself. It never did. Karim never commented on her appearance, never joked at her expense, never treated her as less than capable. He spoke to her as he would to anyone else, with respect. At night, however, her curiosity grew. She noticed things that did not fit the image of a struggling farmer. Locked wooden boxes carefully stored in a corner, thick ledgers bound in leather, their pages filled with precise writing. Old maps, detailed and marked, tucked away as if they were valuable secrets. This was not the life of a man barely surviving. Elena did not yet understand what these signs meant, but one thing was clear. The punishment she had feared did not exist here. Instead, she found herself living in a place where silence was peaceful, work was fair, and kindness was given without explanation. And that, more than anything, left her deeply unsettled.
This area zone phone center is critical.
Agreed, but we should also consider the secondary routes marked here for backup.
The truth came to light on a quiet afternoon when Karim asked Elena to prepare lunch earlier than usual. His tone was calm, but there was a sense of purpose in his movements that day. After eating, he gathered a few papers, secured them carefully inside a leather folder, and told her he would be gone until evening. Something about his urgency stirred Elena's curiosity. For weeks, questions had grown in her mind, fed by the locked ledgers and hidden maps she had seen at night. Against her better judgment, she followed him at a distance. The path led far beyond the familiar fields, past rocky land where few people traveled. Eventually, Karim stopped in front of a large warehouse concealed behind tall trees. From the outside, it looked abandoned, its walls worn, its doors dull with age. But when Karim unlocked the heavy metal doors, Elena caught a glimpse inside and froze. The space was vast. Neatly stacked grain reserves filled one side, enough to feed hundreds of families through harsh seasons. Modern farming equipment lined the walls, clean and well-maintained. Workers moved efficiently, greeting Karim with respect that bordered on reverence. This was no hidden shed of a poor farmer. This was an operation of scale, precision, and wealth. Elena stepped forward before she could stop herself. Karim turned, surprised but not angry. He studied her for a long moment, then sighed quietly as if he had always known this day would come. He led her to a table covered in documents, land deeds, ownership records, maps marked across multiple provinces, thousands of acres legally acquired and carefully managed. Karim explained that he owned them all. He had inherited some, earned more through decades of disciplined work, and expanded quietly while others chased status and recognition. "I live simply because attention brings danger," he said, and greed. He told her how he invested most of his wealth into irrigation systems for struggling villages, paid off crushing debts for farmers, and funded harvests without demanding loyalty or praise. If people knew who he truly was, they would come with endless demands, or worse, take by force, so he chose invisibility. Elena's voice trembled as she asked the question that had haunted her since the courtroom. "Then why did you accept me?" Karim met her eyes steadily. He told her he had seen the injustice for what it was. Sending her to him had been meant as humiliation, but he turned it into protection. Away from those who exploited and shamed her, she could live without fear. "You were never a punishment," he said quietly. "You were someone who needed safety." Elena felt something shift inside her. The fear she had carried for so long began to loosen its grip. For the first time, she understood that the man she thought was poor had given her something far richer than money: dignity, choice, and the truth.
Do you think they'll finish before the weather changes?
They have to. We can't afford any delays.
The days that followed the revelation marked a quiet transformation in Elena's life. Karim did not overwhelm her with sudden changes or grand promises. Instead, he began with small, deliberate steps. He introduced her to books on basic accounting, land management, and agricultural planning. At first, Elena doubted herself. Years of being told she was incapable had left deep marks on her confidence, but Karim was patient. He explained concepts slowly, encouraged questions, and never dismissed her mistakes. Gradually, responsibility replaced fear. Elena began managing inventories, recording harvest yields, and coordinating supplies for nearby villages. For the first time, her efforts mattered. She saw direct results of her work: fields irrigated on time, families spared from debt, farmers able to plan beyond the next season. Each success strengthened her belief that she was more than what others had labeled her. News, however, has a way of traveling. Months later, her relatives arrived at the farm, their sudden concern thinly disguised as authority. They demanded Elena's return, claiming legal rights and family honor. The humiliation she once felt threat to return, but Karim stood firm. Calmly, he presented legal documents that exposed the corruption behind her so-called punishment. Contracts were reviewed, records examined, and the truth laid bare. The arrangement that had sent Elena away was unlawful. Faced with evidence and Karim's influence, her relatives had no choice but to retreat. Their voices, once loud and cruel, fell silent. Elena watched them leave without triumph or anger, only relief. Afterward, Karim gave her a choice he had never taken from her. She was free to go anywhere, to start anew with the education and experience she had gained. The decision weighed heavily on her, but her heart was clear. She chose to stay. Not as labor, not as charity, as a partner. Together, they expanded projects that supported small farmers, fair lending systems, shared equipment programs, and sustainable irrigation plans. Elena became a trusted voice among the workers, someone who understood hardship not from distance but from experience. Her past, once a source of shame, became a source of empathy and strength. Standing at the edge of the valley one evening, Elena reflected on how far she had come. What was meant to break her had rebuilt her instead. The punishment that once stole her voice had given her purpose. She no longer measured her worth through others' approval. She had dignity, she had direction, and for the first time her future was not something decided for her but something she chose herself.